Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. This update is about the Offensive Weapons Bill. A year ago, in October 2017, the government consulted about improving the law on tightening the law regarding acid attacks, gun crime, and knife crime. And they carried out a consultation, and they consulted 170 different organisations. They didn't consult any Sikh organisations. And if you look at their consultation questionnaire from October 2017, there was nothing in those consultation questions which suggested that the Sikh community had anything to worry about. Sikhs are law-abiding citizens, and we want the country to be safer. We do not want people carrying out acid attacks, knife crime, or gun crime. However, in June 2018, when the Offensive Weapons Bill was published, alongside that were published two documents, a policy equality statement, and in that equality statement, on the fourth page, was this specific thing that this law, if it becomes law, will impact on the Sikh community, which meant that curved blades over 50 centimetres, which basically means large kirbans, would be outlawed. You would not be allowed to sell them, you will not be allowed to possess them, you wouldn't be allowed to have them. And it wasn't just in public places, it was also in private places. So in other words, you could not keep a large kirpan at home. And on top of that, the Home Office also published a memorandum which looked at compliance with European human rights law. And what they said is, we think this is a reasonable law to introduce. They recognised in para 46 that this impacted on the Sikh community and large kirbans. And they made two specific statements. Firstly, they said that large kirbans were uncommon, and I'll come back to that. And they also said that the large kirpan was not necessary for Sikhs for religious observance. Now, the point is, the government did not consult prior to June 2018, even though they knew that this law would impact on any Sikh family, any Sikh individual that had a large kirpan, was intending to have a large kirpan. And therefore, the way we learnt of this wasn't through government, it was through a Sikh police officer in Leicester who alerted people in the Sikh Network and the Sikh Federation, UK. And we took up the matter immediately with Preet Kaur Gill MP, the chair of the all-party parliamentary group for British Sikhs. She quickly talked to the shadow Home Affairs team, led by Diane Abbott. They knew nothing. She then spoke to fellow MPs in the all-party parliamentary group, and very quickly, within a matter of 2 days, MPs from the Conservative Party, Labour Party, Liberal Democrats and SNP put a specific amendment into the bill because the bill was going to be heard in mid-October. And what they said is, the bill currently says there is an exemption for religious ceremonies. And what they're really talking about is previous legislation has indicated in the explanatory notes that when Sikhs have an Anand-Karj, the kirpan, the large kirpan, is essential. Now initially, Home Office officials were advising ministers that religious ceremonies as a phrase was sufficient. But what we were quickly able to do was through Preet Kaur Gill, through Pat McFadden, they met Victoria Atkins and they convinced her that was not good enough. Preet also then had a one-to-one meeting with the Home Secretary Sajid Javid, And both ministers came on side and said it was not our intention as ministers that this law that was there for crime should target law-abiding Sikhs that have the large Qurban. So what we've seen is last week a meeting with Victoria Atkins where she categorically said the government will on the 28th of November put down an amendment themselves which will change the Offensive Weapons Bill to refer to not just religious ceremonies, but it will say religious reasons. And what they've also promised is the explanatory notes that will eventually come with the legislation, which will come after the bill goes through the Commons and then the Lords, is they will specifically refer to the Qurban. And for all of those watching this KTV update, think about it. The large Qurban is used in an undercarriage. Often the groom has it, sometimes the bride has it. What do we do with those Qurbans? Where do we purchase them? Where do we keep them? We often keep them at home. So we've said over 100,000 Sikh homes, at least 100,000 Sikh homes, probably have 1, 2 or possibly 3 Qurbans or more. And that's because couples have been married, their children have been married, Qurbans are passed down the family. How many youngsters do Gadka? Amrit Sanchar, the Panj Pyare need the large Qurban. Nagar Kirtans, we need the large Qurban. Qurbans are there in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji at Gurdwaras. When Guru Granth Sahib Ji does darshan in our homes, we often put Shastar in front of them. Where do these Shastars come from? So it's a huge achievement. We should thank MPs like Preet Kaur Gill, Pat McFadden and Dominic Grieve. One's a former Attorney General, one's a former Cabinet Office Minister. They came together on behalf of the Sikh community and convinced the government, the Home Secretary and the Home Office Minister to put a government amendment, and that is a huge victory for the Sikh community. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.